If you're a fan of K-pop, then you already know K-pop idols are extremely good-looking. Is it because they were born that way, or does it have something to do with South Koreans' insane beauty standards? The answer could be a little bit of both. In this video, we're discussing what K-pop stars have to go through to live up to those insane beauty standards. We'll also take a look at a movement that is looking to combat the norm, and how the South Korean government is trying to intervene. Stay tuned because you won't want to miss it. To fully appreciate the crazy routines K-pop stars must adhere to in the name of beauty, you have to understand the South Korean beauty culture. This tiny nation has seen a massive economic boom thanks to the K-beauty trend, and there's a good reason. In this culture, it pays to be beautiful, literally. It's believed that your looks will get you much further in life, since being beautiful can influence your bank account, future jobs, and overall respect. So it's no wonder South Korea is the plastic surgery capital of the world. Not only that, but their beauty industry is slated to bring the country over $7 billion by 2020. So, how did all this get started, and where do they draw the line? What is most controversial about this movement to look perfect is that it mostly pertains to how women look. Sure, men have certain expectations they must adhere to, like being slim, dress decently, and have a nice haircut, but when it comes to women and their expectations, it's much more rigorous. Many Korean beauty blogs post about the insane 10-step beauty routine of South Korean ladies. Not only do they have to make sure their skin is always glowing, but they also never leave home without makeup. According to some South Korean professional women, their co-workers will make negative comments toward them if they show up barefaced. While they are expected to have a fresh face of makeup, these women are also supposed to make everything look natural, from surgeries, face masks, to loads of makeup. South Koreans put a significant emphasis on natural beauty, which sounds like a contradiction considering everything that goes into achieving it. The desire to look attractive in this country is so massive that parents will often gift their graduating teens with plastic surgery. It's believed that if they look better, they'll land higher paying and more distinguished jobs. Considering it's mandatory that new applicants include a headshot on their resume, it's no wonder that this is a trend. It doesn't even matter what the job entails. It pays to look good. The country's government has actually started to see the negative effects of this practice, but we'll get into that later in the video, so don't go anywhere. At the end of the day, these are the expectations of everyday people in this country, so you can only imagine how much these are exemplified when someone becomes a K-pop star. These are the idols of the country, and their beauty and looks are constantly under the microscope. They must look perfect, polished, and youthful, and many times, they aren't even allowed to talk about everything they do to achieve their beauty. So what happens when someone becomes a K-pop idol? Because they're expected to look the part, many times these stars must go through an extreme makeover. It's not only the women either. When a K-pop idol starts their training, they start focusing on their weight. It's ideal for these stars to be very thin. Because of this, they go to extreme measures, which sometimes leaves them malnourished. What's even crazier is that their society and many of their fans applaud their efforts. BTS's Jimin was one of these stars who admitted he had to go through unhealthy measures to become slim. He said he did so he would become one of the more attractive guys in the group. And not only did it work, but no one batted an eyelash at his admission. Then there's the girl group 9 Muses, who bragged about their collective diet during an interview. The girls claimed they would only eat what they could fit into a small cup. This is actually a common practice amongst K-pop groups. Many times they will all go through diets together, especially when they have tours or promotional appearances coming up. Another diet that should have been alarming was UI's 300-calorie-a-day diet. This one included only eating an apple, sweet potato, and a protein shake, which is completely unhealthy and is nowhere near the daily recommendation of nutrients. One of the most controversial things about K-pop is, many times, you don't necessarily have to have talent to make it big. Don't get us wrong, we think all these stars are super talented, but according to some other Korean artists, that may not be the case. It's a well-known fact that being beautiful brings in the money in this industry, so if the record companies think you have a good look, they will make you work for years to gain the talent. Many times they sign on performers who can't sing because they know they can fix their voices with proper editing. It's even believed that the most popular bands in this genre are so because they look the best, and not necessarily because they have the most talent, which only proves, once again, why it pays to look good in this country. To add to this, many makeovers include extensive plastic surgery, so much so that idols are virtually unrecognizable when you look at their before pictures. But we'll get to that in a sec. First, we want to break down how common plastic surgery is in this country and which ones the performers are forced to get. One of the most popular procedures in South Korea is the double eyelid surgery. Many idols don't like to admit that they've had it done. Some will even say theirs occur naturally. That being said, Gu Hara, formerly of Kara, admitted that she had hers slightly tweaked. Kim Hee-chul of Super Junior admitted he had his done as well. He also came clean about having a nose job, but only because it was crooked after breaking it in the past. It seems like eyelid and nose surgery are the most popular, but you'll have a hard time getting idols to talk about the work they've had done. Considering it's so prevalent in the industry and not shameful in the culture, it's a wonder why they won't just come clean. It's okay if they don't want to talk about it because we have photo evidence of K-pop stars' surgical transformations. Just look at this before and after photo of Hyomin from Tiara. It's apparent that she's had eyelid surgery, lightened her skin, and possibly had jaw surgery. Then we have Hyuna from 4 Minute. It's speculated that she's had her nose, jawline, eyelids, and lips done. It's all pretty standard when someone becomes a K-pop idol. It's yet again just another standard these stars must live up to. And if it's not coming from their record company, many times their parents will push for the surgeries as well. Just like in regular Korean society, there's more pressure on K-pop women to look perfect than there is their male counterparts. But that doesn't mean the guys don't feel the same pressure. The boys of BTS talked to Allure magazine in 2018 and shared their beauty routines. Yes, that's right. These guys go out of their way to look the way they do. J-Hope specifically has a morning and night beauty routine. In the morning, he uses face toner and cream. At night, he has a 5-step process of toner, essence, acne care, lotion, and cream. Sounds like a lot, but with those type of results, we would be up for it too. Jin has a much simpler approach. He loves a good K-beauty sheet mask. He says they help moisturize his skin after being exposed to the sun or when it feels dry. But when it comes to the most commonly used product for these guys, they will all tell you it's toner. The ladies of Twice also have beauty rules that they swear by. And just like the BTS guys, they shared them with Allure magazine. Considering how much makeup they have to slather on, the ladies of this group love a good makeup wipe after they use a cream cleanser to get the remaining makeup off and follow that up with an oil cleanser. They finish off their cleansing routine with a foam cleanser. That's already 4 steps. Anyone else exhausted? Moving on, once the cleaning is all done, they put on a sheet mask. Many of them like to leave it on until it dries out, which can take up to 30 minutes. After the sheet mask, the ladies each have little touches they like to add. Nayeon likes to put on lip balm, eye brightening cream, a night cream, and finally she massages her jawline. Because why not? All of this sounds a bit excessive, but it's a must to have perfect skin in this industry. When they meet so many people face to face, they can't afford any negative remarks about their appearance. This is why it's so crucial for these stars to look great at all times. It could cost them their contracts, and even worse, their income. Now, just because all of this is expected of K-pop stars doesn't mean there aren't a few rebels amongst them. Over the years, there's been a push from some Korean stars to ease up on the outrageous beauty standards they must live up to. What makes these ladies rebels? Well, it's the fact that they haven't sacrificed their health to fit the K-pop idol mold. While all of these ladies are still pretty thin considering Western standards, in South Korea, they're labeled as larger women, which will probably blow your mind. Just take a look at singers like A-Lee, Kyla, and Twice's Jihyo and tell us they aren't absolutely stunning. Which leads us to our next point. Not only are performers in the industry lashing out, but so are the women and government of South Korea. They're starting to see that society is setting an impossible and unhealthy standard of beauty, which is beginning to have adverse effects. Many women in the Escape the Corset movement have lived under the pressure to look beautiful for years. One woman knew she wanted plastic surgery since she was 7. Another spent $200 a week and up to 2 hours a day on looking good. You can probably see why this is all a problem. That's why the movement has started to combat South Korea's beauty standards. The movement is mostly fueled by the wage gap in the country and the fact that women are garnishing more power in other countries. This has inspired South Korean women to fight against the norm. They are smashing their makeup and posting the outcome to Instagram. Others are showing off their flaws by posting YouTube videos of why it's okay to not be perfect. They are even going to the extreme of getting bowl haircuts, which they've received backlash for doing. While it may be a controversial topic in the country, it seems to have struck a chord. After reviewing the effects of K-pop on its society, the South Korean government suggested guidelines to promote diversity in the industry. They were worried that K-pop stars looked too much alike. They were worried because girl groups in the industry were all thin, wore the same makeup, and similar outfits. The government felt that this could lead to unrealistic standards of beauty among young women. Not sure why they're just now seeing the issue, but needless to say, it's didn't sit well with fans. The government was ultimately shot down. Fans and labels complained that this would be a form of censorship from the government. Considering the country went through many years of having an over-censoring and controlling government, it's easy to see where they were coming from. Because of this, they retracted their guidelines, even if they had the best of intentions. So what do you think about the South Korean beauty standards? Sound off in the comment section below. While you're at it, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the taco. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.